Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's like so quiet Tuesday evening, 4:30 p.m. Hello, everyone online. Can we get some energy in the room, people? Are we ready? Can't hear you. Make some noise, and people online, show some love on the chat. Say where you're joining from, and let's make one more huge energy burst. Are you ready, Turku? Yay! Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for having me here. It's such an absolute pleasure. Welcome, everyone online joining on the live stream. Really happy that you can see me. I can't see you, unfortunately, but I will be able to read your comments on the chat. Today, I'm here to share a brief story of, I wanted to name it, Many New Beginnings. I was wondering, what should I name the title of this journey that I have had in Finland? And I realized that it has been a journey of really learning, growing, and going through many new things. And that is what I realized that a lot of us coming from different places to Finland go through, having new beginnings all the time. And what is really great about new beginnings, that it is exciting, it is energetic, and it's fun, but at the same time, it could be challenging, it could be scary, it could be, we might be scared to take on these new beginnings. But one thing, for 100% sure, what all the new beginnings teach us, they teach us something important, what we want or don't want in our lives. And that is why today it's about the new beginnings. And Hilja and Asma gave a really nice introduction, so I don't have to introduce myself that much, but very quickly about, I am a diversity, equity, and inclusion consultant. How many of you know what those terms mean? Some of us? Yeah? Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit if we get the time. My current title is I'm a partner at DEidei, and I'm the co-founder and the ex-CEO of BusinessWiz, which is also a company that started working with diversity, equity, and inclusion. But I heard your stories of Asma and Hilja coming to Finland. Why are they here? So why did I come to Finland? And my background is actually in engineering. I'm an electronics and communication engineer. So people, if this art piece does not look like me, I'm sorry about that. It was an attempt. But in 2016, I, by an accident, ended up in Finland. I call it a Finnish accident because it was a really nice spring day. I'm originally from India. I have been working in the technology industry in there. I was working at the time in Delhi. How many of you know Delhi? Make some noise. Woo! Delhi people out there. And my manager, she called me, Priyanka, we have a really urgent requirement. Can you come to my office and we need to talk? And I'm like, yeah, sure, all right, why not? And I went there, and she was like, you know, the project, the client we are working with, we have some new requirements, and we want someone to go there and take care of it. And I was like, all right, yeah, it's okay, I can go to Finland. I was like, tomorrow 10 a.m. is your flight. I'm like, all right. So less than 24 hours, and I was in Finland. That's why I call it a Finnish accident, because I did not get the chance to research about it. The first time when someone asked me, why did you come to Finland? And I was like, I thought it was like a little bit colder. A little bit. I came in April, so. But I am still here 7 years and maybe a few months. Next year in April, it will be 8 years of me by accident coming to Finland and then staying and creating a life here. But when I came, it was in the tech industry. How many of you belong to any of the engineering departments, technology, IT companies? Yeah, some of us. It's very easy for someone like me to stand out. This is what means diversity. And this is what I was facing when I joined my team. I was the only woman, the only non-Finnish person, the only 20-something person, and it was really different from what I had experienced before. And I was really, really excited that, okay, I get to experience and I'll learn and I will be in this new country and a new job. Just a week before I came to Finland, my brother in India joined a new company, and he was telling me, you know how they welcomed me? They had like a banner with my face and name on it, and like we had a surprise party, and I was like, okay, tomorrow is my first day. I'm like looking forward to what's gonna happen, and I go there, and I'm like, there was nobody. I had emails full of instructions, but I wouldn't know where to go, who to talk to. And it felt really, really, really lonely at first, because I did not come here with family. I came here less than 24 hours notice, so I didn't know anybody. I didn't get time to meet anyone or network with people. And it continued for about a week when nobody came to talk to me in my own team, and I was seeing that, okay, they are sending me emails, and this is the same person who's sending me emails. And me being me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just go and talk to them, like, why don't they wanna talk to me? And I go and almost in my full Priyanka energy, hey, hi, Priyanka, you know me because you have been sending me emails, but you don't come and talk to me. Why is that so? And I know that that person is like such the nicest person. Now that I know him, he was like scared and shakingly telling to me that, but we thought that you want some time to settle in. It is such an overwhelming journey for you, and we wanted to give you space. And that day, a lot of things clicked to me, that how we are so same as humans, but how we are also so different and unique. And in those experiences, working in that industry was the first time when I started to think about this terminology of inclusion. Because it was one of the first times that the company that I came to work for started to hire international talents. And in many technology industry, people are like, oh, we are really diverse. But we don't really understand that having diversity does not equal to having inclusion. And what does that mean? It means that even when I was there, my opinions were not valued. I was not being included in many of the meetings. I was excluded because I didn't speak the language. People did not understand about my culture, where I come from. People wouldn't appreciate the differences, the uniqueness that you bring. And it kind of made me feel that, do I want to work somewhere where I'm not appreciated, I'm not valued, and where I cannot give the best that I have? Because I know one thing I know, maybe I don't know about the culture of this place, but one thing I know is the work that I'm doing. I'm great at it, but I cannot be great at it because I'm not getting the environment to be great at it. So I started thinking about what should I do, and it was a scary situation for me in the terms that I am a person that I like to say that if I don't stand up for myself, nobody else will. But that also means that it takes you to certain situations and decisions where you have to make the tough choices. And for me, I told myself I deserve better. And honestly, we all deserve better. I really want to share that and want you to also recognize that even when we come in a new country and we might think that we are so different, we don't know this, we don't know the language, and we might not be worth it, I realized that we have something so unique to give to this place, and we deserve more than what we have. And of course, where we are due to the current structures, it's not that easy. And I will not paint a rosy picture that it will be a path full of roses. But yeah, it was a decision that I made, and I decided to quit my, there is something happening with my deck, which I don't want to move, but all right. But hey, you already took me to the next slide. I decided to quit my job because I really was not satisfied. I didn't think that I would want to put myself in a box and where I don't feel that I am valued and I can't give my best. So I see a lot of people here from India. Raise your hand if you're from Asia, India. Yeah, how many of you recognize that after we do engineering, the next right step is to do masters in do your MBA? Yeah. That was all. I was also thinking that I don't know what to do. This is a new country. What I will do is I will go to your university and I will study and I will see what I want to do. So I started doing my master's. I did my MBA in Lappeenranta University of Applied Sciences. It was called Saima University of Applied Sciences. And I took the course where I had to go there for weekends because I was still living in Helsinki. And what I did in those 2 years, I think that was one of my best decisions to join the university, not because I learned a lot from the university. I'm not saying that people who are in the university don't learn from there, but I personally did not. Those 2 years I spent experimenting on what I want to do. Because when I quit my company, I was like, quit my job, I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm in a new country, I don't know anybody, I don't speak the language, I don't get social security, I don't know the culture, I really don't know anything about anything. So what am I supposed to do? And that's where I got introduced to the startup world. And those 2 years went completely into, I started working with different startups, I started learning from them, having more, creating new ideas of new startups. And all the time I started thinking about, why did I quit my job? It was because I wasn't feeling included. I didn't feel that I belonged here. And these topics kept coming over and over again. And I was like, we really need the leaders and the people to learn or know about how do we create cultures, workplace cultures where we can be inclusive. And so it happened the same in the startup world. I was again questioning about, do we really have inclusion here? Do we see that people from different backgrounds have the same opportunities? And I came to the conclusion, no, we still have a lot more work to do. And I started talking about DEI. This is when I started talking about DEI, knocking on different events like, hey, do you have 5 minutes of time? I really have a good topic and I would like to share it with you. Some said yes, some said no, but in the end, I learned a lot from this 2 years of my life, gave me a lot of network, it gave me a lot of inspiration and the courage to actually say that we do have a problem and we need to work on it. And that is when in 2019 I started my company, BusinessWiz, and we started helping different companies and leaders into diversity, equity, inclusion. This is also the same time I was in the founding board of International Working Women of Finland. How many of you know IVOF? IVOF, yay, IVOF people. We started as 10 people in the group, and at the moment now we are over 9,000 international women from across Finland and working towards creating inclusion from different ways. And early this year, another new beginning happened to me when I joined. I merged my company with deidei. This is our new team. We are actually, one more person joined last week, so we are now 10 people. And DEIDei was founded by 3 really wonderful, amazing humans, Yasmin, Nassim, and Iina, who in their lives in Finland have had different kind of challenges and decided to work on the topic of DEI. And we have been collaborating together and realized that there is a really good synergy, and we started to work together. But I will skip this. You can see this on our website. We have now worked together over 200 clients, companies in Finland in less than 3 years of time. And what we have learned in this 5 or 6 years of journey that I have been on from moving to tech into the DEI world is that there are multiple challenges that the organizations have. We actually tried to sum it up in a DEI playbook that was launched earlier this year. And these were the 5 main challenges that we kind of came up, what we see in organizations who are trying to have more diversity and international people in the companies face. Like, how do we start? How do we get our first international in the company? How do we get the leadership to buy in? How do we recruit in a more inclusive way? How do we communicate in a more inclusive way? And you can read it. This is a free resource. You can download it from our website. You can also see some company examples that might be interesting for you that are actually doing things regarding DEI. Why I'm mentioning it is because it's important to also, if we are looking for a job or looking to go into an organization, it is good if they already are doing something about inclusion, because if they are not, you might not be really have the inclusion or the belonging that we are looking for. And I hope that we all can work in better workplaces and company cultures. So you can check out some of these names. There are different, I think there are about 20 case examples. You can download it from our website. But finishing the talk, it was 15 minutes, too many things to add in here, and I can talk for an hour on this. But last thing that I would want all of us to take is, we hear a lot about the word integration. If there is one thing that we can take away from today, is how we can replace using integration to inclusion. Because integration is one-sided. It asks the minority group to become a part of the majority and adapt to it. Versus in inclusion, we come into the majority culture, bringing in our unique values and differences, and create a new culture around us. And this is not about organizations. We are working with organizations to create this impact, but it is also about all of us. So how can all of us learn about our own biases, about our own privileges? How can we create a more inclusive world? And how can we be better allies to each other? For example, for me with DEIDei, they were great allies that they saw a possibility to collaborate and have me a partner in the company. So there are really great allies. Identify them, be a good ally yourself. And just do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. But thank you so much. If you have any questions later on, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can send an email to me. And it has been a pleasure. And I think our host here has a few more questions for me. But once again, thank you everyone here and online. It was a pleasure talking to you.
All right, thank you so much, Priyanka, for such a wonderful talk. I know I'm curious to know about more, so I have a few questions for you.
Perfect.
Since your experience in DEIDei, which companies in what fields are more open to diversifying? Just so that our audience knows, maybe there is a field that tends to be more open.
So I have been working in the DEI industry for maybe 6 years now. When I started, because I have a tech background. Through Business Ways, we have been working mostly with tech companies, also because tech companies, or let's say IT companies in precise, have more people coming from international backgrounds.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that diversity equals to inclusion, but there is more need in there. But there have been now a growing need in other sectors as well. And I think like one good way to spot which companies are open is in their recruitment, of course, the language of the recruitment, but also how inclusive their communications is in terms of recruitment can help you differentiate between the companies or industries that are more open.
Okay, that's a good point going on to my next question. Is there anything maybe in the handbook that the audience can use to implement and to identify which companies are maybe more inclusive, or even maybe in the recruitment process, are there any flags that you can see in companies that are open to being more inclusive?
Yes, so the playbook actually we created for the Finnish organizations so that they could learn from their peers and colleagues. Of course, there are examples from certain companies in there. But when you say about the red flags in the interview process, definitely see how diverse is their interview panel, for example. Like I said, how are there, for example, we use a lot of inclusive recruitment or communication techniques. There is a lot of companies when they write the recruitment ads, they are not thinking if it's gender bias. Because, for example, using a lot of terminologies like guys and superstars or ninjas, subconsciously what they do is that it is decreasing the likelihood of other genders to apply for their position. And we actually also see that women, they apply for positions that they are over 90% sure of after reading the recruitment ads. So it's if they have made an attempt to make their ads more inclusive in terms of their gender, in terms of making it open that they are open and welcoming to people from different backgrounds, then it's a good company. Like I cannot say that it's a good, but it's a good start. And then also in the recruitment process, see how they are communicating, if their interview panel is diverse. So small tips.
Okay. And my next question is, as someone, I think everyone here in Finland, maybe it's hard to find a job, maybe it's easier, and there may be a time where you do have to make a career change. And as someone who has made a kind of field change, what's the most important question one should ask themselves before they do that?
Ask if it's your own choice or somebody else's, because there is a lot of suggestions for internationals to become entrepreneurs, because it's kind of like the easy path. Trust me, it's not easy. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. You can do it if you are really motivated and you want to go in that direction. So asking yourself, is it actually your choice or somebody else's? And for me, what worked was, like I said, experimentation. I don't have any entrepreneurial background. Nobody in my family has an entrepreneurial background. I did not know that I would want to be an entrepreneur, but the 2 years, for example, when I was in the university and I constantly did the experimentation of working with different kinds of roles, finally I realized that this is what I want to do. So don't hesitate in experimentation. Put yourself out there. It's not that easy, especially when you don't feel so included in certain culture. But yeah, there are different ways to also, it's not like always that I'm an extroverted introvert person, so for me it's easy to go and network in some parts and then not. But you can also go on LinkedIn, you can also have personal, authentic communication ways. So there are different ways based on what works for you. Find that, and you can find that when you experiment.
Okay, so experimenting and going out of your comfort zone. Hard for most of us, but a good thing to implement. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for sharing your knowledge. She will also be available if any If you have further questions, go ahead in the chat, and Priyanka may be there to also answer you a little bit. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was so insightful and so valuable to have you here for today.
Perfect. Have a lovely evening, everyone. See you.